greeting Aaron Plays channel members. It's the second time I've had to say that. It feels actually quite good to say it. Well, we're going to do turn 2 of the Chosin Reservoir campaign mission 2, where I'm on the defensive, and yeah, I enjoyed doing turn 1 and then doing a synopsis of it. It was quite different in that regard. I still made errors. As Dustoff pointed out, I ranted and raved all about night missions. You only have 4 activations, and the very next thing I did was I activated my company commander and gave him 5 activations. I'll show you what I'm going to do to correct that when we get down to the map. However, how am I going to prevent that? Because I've been using one of these to track my activations as I'm doing them. So it's easy to put a 5 on there and just count down from there. To stop that, I've now got one of these, a D4, and it's black with white numbers, so I know that's for night time. If I still cock it up, I don't know what I'm going to do, but let's try. So it's a D4 for night, and a D6 for day. Maybe I should get a yellow one. Yeah, what do you reckon? A yellow dice for day. Black ones for night, that's good. So, anyway, that's a bit anal, isn't it? Going into doing different dice colours. But when I went through my dice and saw a black D4, I thought, yeah, it's got to be that. It just helps. So, yes, last turn, or the first turn, the Chinese infiltrated my position and are now on the cards that I'm fighting for, shall we say. So, yeah, let's see what they can do. I know in turn 2, I'm going to be suffering some form of mortar strike, and well, hopefully it won't hurt too much. Let's go down. I keep saying to the map, it is a map, isn't it? It's not a map, but it's a geographical representation of what I'm fighting on. Let's go down to it and have a look what is going on. Okay, turn 2. We have got quite a few Chinese on the 4 cards. We've got, there's 4 infiltrators. They had the assault squads, which they called them burp guns. They were using either the Thompson or something similar from Russia. They could have had a infiltration squad that were purely armed with grenades. Luckily, none of those guys turned up. So the mistake that I made, okay, which was giving 5 activations to my company commander and utilizing all 5 of those, and then yeah. So what I'm going to do is, instead, I would have only activated 4, and 3rd platoon wouldn't have been one of them. So let's put him back to here. Now, he actually drew only 1 command via influence, via what's on the card here. And the card that has 1 command has a 0 in this column here. So with a 0, because I would have been then activated him under initiative rather than activation. So with that in mind, the 0, he's green, so it stays 0. There was no contact, so that's +1. And he wasn't under cover because he's back in the staging area. But it's not like, oh, it's the overall. So 0, green, -1, +1 for being no contact is still 0. 0 plus 0, yeah, is 0. So let's leave him up there and say, well done, lads, you've done nothing. Okay, so that balances that particular issue. Thank you, Dustoff, for spotting it, because I didn't. And I even re-watched the video when I was doing the synopsis for the non-channel members. I still didn't pick it up. So thank you very much for being so observant. And let's hopefully, with my now wonderful D4 in tow, I don't make the same kind of cock up. Right, the other mistake I made was with regards to this squad here. I miscalculated his steps, and it turned out he didn't take a hit, which gave him an assault team and 2 steps. He only became pinned. So I've corrected that as well. Now, there might have been other ones that no one else has picked up on and such forth. Let's move on. And if those do come up and you guys rewatch episode 1, you go, we're moving into episode 2 now, so hopefully it won't have too much long-term effect. I'm trying to achieve perfection with this game. I don't think it's quite possible. There's just so much going on and to keep track of. But we try to get as near as possible. So we will then begin with, I'm going to go through the sequence of play again. So it's a friendly HQ event phase. So this is where I draw an action card and instantly get the reshuffle. Instantly. Right. There is no HQ event. I'll now do the reshuffle. There it is. Okay. Now, because it's defensive mission, we move into enemy hire HQ event. Do they get a HQ event? They don't. Okay. Now we do the enemy activation check. So place PC markers as indicated on the mission instructions. Okay, so that's the first thing we've got to do. Now, this particular, I did say in the previous video, and, oh yeah, that's a good point. I put on my community post tabs, I put some of these charts and tables. So if you want to have a look, see what I'm actually gibbering on about at times. I've put a picture up of the different types of squads, what they're representing. I put on a picture of the force packages, which also includes my attachments and experience points. And I put a picture up of the actual campaign missions, I believe. So there's 3 pictures there. If you want to go and have a look, obviously you're more than welcome. Otherwise I would have put them there in the first place. So yeah, I took photographs of these particular pages. Yes, that was it. I think I did also the turn 1, turn 2 PC marker placements and such forth. I think. Can't remember if I did or not. But there's definitely 3 pictures there that you might find useful and might help to follow along. So yeah, going on what I was on about there. So it's turn 2 and we're placing PCA markers on all the cards where I've got troops. Well, technically it goes on all of the cards. So I'm going to again put these at the top of each of the cards. And I did ask this question where, do they go on all the cards? Because some of the missions in the deluxe edition tell you where to place the PC markers. This is a little bit vague, but I'm going to put them on all of the first 2 rows because I can't see me going beyond those 2. But technically I could put PC markers on every single card and then remove them all again. It seems like a lot of work for not much profit. It's mainly these 4 markers. That's 4. Can't even count now. 6 markers that I've got to worry about. It then tells me in turn 2, the 2 types of packages that might occur. On 1 to 6, that's package 10, which is, now I'll put back on the page, package 10 is incoming mortar fire. That's what I mentioned there. Incoming -3 mortar fire, which will arrive on the contact card. Okay, and it's a single fire mission with no spotters, so it's literally a one-off. By sounds of it, from a sort of historical perspective, a pre-arranged bombardment. So looking at what the Chinese have done here, they've sent some guys forward to get in amongst my guys, sneaky beaky stuff, creepy crawly, join and basically mess me around as much as possible. They've then done planning a mortar bombardment to again further disrupt me, and then on turn 3 there is the human waves. Yeah, and they're coming from as far back as possible by the looks of it. So yeah, so the other option that happens on turn 2 is 1 to 6 is the mortar fire, 7 to 10 we draw it is package 3, and package 3 is hasty machine gun position. which is 1 LMG team and 1 rifle squad in cover, again at maximum range and line of sight. So, which maximum range in this, for the Chinese, is long. They don't have anything with a V rating, which is also meant to reflect that they are trying to conserve as much ammunition as possible. So, we've placed the PC markers. That was the first step we had to do here. Okay. Then check every enemy unit on the map for activity. Determine card order randomly. On each card, check units based on their status on the activity check hierarchy tables. Got a lot of wordage, but there we go. Right, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4 positions that they could be coming from. So I'm going to put some markers out so I can remember. And this is what Tabletop Simulator has, little markers that say that you've done this or done that. So I'm going to pause this and see if I can find any similar markers. Well, I couldn't specifically find anything, so I found these ones, which says signs of the enemy. So I've placed the 4 where there are 4 enemy counters. So I'm going to use those as my guide, and then I'll twist them or something, or move them to the bottom of the card to show that that card has been activated. If you guys do know of a counter that I'm sort of missing, let me know, and then I'll use that from there. But this is enough of a representation. Okay, so there's 4, and I always go from the left. That's all. So 1, 2, 3. So I've managed to get, because we're not going further in the map, pretty much everything's going to go on here at probably this turn, but the enemy will start appearing a bit further up. I thought I could get a nice zoom on that at the present moment. So 1 to 4, we're looking at the number 4, and it is 4. So we're doing this one first. Okay, now the enemy are under attack orders, and they are doing a overrun assault. Okay, is the activation. So this has got a little chart on here. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options on it. I wonder if I can actually bring up one of those. Overrun, what is this called? Enemy offensive activity. Enemy activity. There we go. That's enemy lats. Enemy offensive. Offensive activity. There we go. In that noise. In that noise. All right. So we're looking at that. Can't blow that up anymore. But we've got, all right. Option on the same card as an opposing unit and not undercover. He's on the same card as an opposing unit, and he's definitely not undercover. So he's got to draw on. That's the first option. So it says he's got what options? Where's that gone? Has that gone underneath? Typical. Let me pause. Keep it all there. So you can see I've got options 1 through to 6. So I draw a card. Looking at 6 is option 3's come up. Advance straight ahead. Well, we can't advance into my staging area. So what does that mean? Does he just, do I draw again, or do he just stays as it is? Because he's not on the same card as an opposing unit and not undercover. Advance straight ahead. Well, he can't advance straight ahead. So let me find out. I have to refer to the actual rule book. It says in the rule book, if a result is drawn on the enemy activity hierarchies that an enemy unit cannot legally perform, redraw. If there are no legal alternatives listed on that result, then the enemy unit does nothing. Well, there are legal things he could do. He could fall back. He could attempt to make a grenade attack. So let's see what he will do, and hopefully we won't draw 3 to 4 again. We draw. This is under 6. He does a 5. He attempts to make a grenade attack. That makes a bit more sense now, doesn't it? Okay, so they're green. So let's see if he gets a grenade. Every time. Okay, no grenade. So he didn't. So effectively, he did nothing. And because we've now done that, can I rotate it clockwise? There we go. So he's been done. I suppose I could put it at the bottom as well, couldn't it? There we go. That card's been done. And the chart has disappeared again. Come on, boy. Come on. Come on. Right, so we're now drawing, because there's now 3 left. 1 to 3. And we're looking at number 1, which is this dude. Okay. Mistake. Come on. They're pinned. They're pinned. So that means we use the pinned hierarchy chart. Okay, well, at least we haven't gone too far. Dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Pinned. I know, and if you were screaming at the screen, I got there in the end. Okay, he was pinned. Right, pinned on same card as the opposing unit and not undercover. We're still looking at 1 to 5. That first draw we did was a 4. No, we did 1 to 6, wasn't it? So, yeah. Should I draw again? I think that would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay, so we're drawing again for this guy, and hopefully we're going to get it right this time. Oh, told you. You can never do perfect. 1 to 5, he draws a 5. He actually falls back, 8.63. Now that sort of makes sense, doesn't it? He's become pinned, he decides to fall back. Good. Yeah, again, this is probably because I do most of my games on Tabletop Simulator. I'm looking for the pinned counter on top rather than the little word that says pin there. So I've got to focus a little bit more. Maybe get stronger glasses, Mr. Sibley. Right, okay. Okay, but we got there. So using 8.63, his retreat priorities. Enemy fallback. Here we go. Well, he's only got one option because he can't go diagonally. So in actual fact, there's no point really looking at that, is there? He's only got one option, which is he falls back to there. And he would then be marked as exposed. Mark as exposed. Because he's not doing any infiltration because there's no point of fire there, is there? Okay. So, there's another good thing. There is actually 3 units on that card. The casualty remains where it is. The litter team is pinned, so I better draw for him as well then. So, hey. In my error, I found more units. Okay. So, this is, again, using the same table. There's no leader. All right, pinned on the same card as an opposing unit, and we've got to draw a card for him. See what he does. This is the litter team. Number 2, move into or seek cover. Now that's interesting. Can Lats do that on the same card as an enemy unit? There's a technical question for you all. Okay, start for 10. Well, start for 10, get 10 points. You've got the right answer. I'll pause for a second. Right, now let's actually have a look. Can a pinned unit seek cover on a card with the enemy? Okay, and this is under the lat table. So he is a litter team. Move infiltrate to adjacent card, but only if that card is a staging area or is a friendly occupied and has no volume of fire on it. All other actions except move, platoon, infiltrate. So that's under movement. And seeking cover is a movement action. Any good order unit has got a little number 1 there. Also available to pinned units and some lats with restrictions. Pin has got a 1, applies to only to pinned infantry units. It's got their pinned units can attempt to seek cover. Now, just supersedes other lat restrictions below under the pin notes. So in other words, the answer is yes, they can. In my answers. Okay, so he's looking for cover. He's green, so he's drawing 1 card. He doesn't find any. Now, does that make him exposed? Any good order unit on a card that has not reached its cover potential and is not under a cover mark. Draw action cards equal to the cover draw number on the unit's card and check for the word cover. If it is present, then the attempt succeeds. Place the unit under a new cover marker and mark it as exposed. If the attempt fails, do nothing. In other words, they poke the reds up, look around, poke the reds back down and say, bugger that, brigade of soldiers, and find out. Okay, And obviously the casualty doesn't do anything. So finally, we have now done that card. We then drew this card. So I'll keep doing this card. And there is only one lat on there, which is a pinned fire team. So we'll still draw under the same table. Okay, no leader, 1 to 5, pinned on the same card as an opposing unit and not undercover. 1 to 5, look at it, he gets number 4. He falls back as well. Okay, so he falls back into there, becomes exposed. Okay, and there's 2 enemy casualties on that card. Right, fair enough. So now I've got to determine there's 2 left. Okay, I suppose I could turn that, rotate that. There we go. 2 left, 1 and 2. And we're looking at number 1, so it's this one that we do next. Okay, so he's pinned, and he's a full squad. Again, 1 to 5. There's no cover on there. 1 to 5. Option 5. He falls back as well. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So he falls back. Mark as exposed. And that's it, isn't it? He just falls back. He's still pinned and so on. Okay, so, and the last one. Now, this guy isn't pinned. So, he's still got his full volume of fire on me. Okay, so going on to, back onto that, let me bring that up, over to there. We are now looking at enemy offensive activity hierarchy, and we're looking at the overrun attack on the same card as an opposing unit and not undercover. And he does option 1. Actually, it's 1 to 6, isn't it? It's still option 1. No action. So we went through all that and we had no action. But wasn't there a Chinese special rule if they were on the same card? Let me just double check that. Let's find the thing. Oh, I think the campaign. Right, okay. Automatic. Okay. CCF use grenades as weapons of choice. They use the -3 modifier. If both sides occupy a card, any enemy good order assault team, it was teams, wasn't it? Or fire team, that is a squad, will automatically attempt a grenade attack as their activity check, and it's a good order. So, no, didn't miss that. Wow, I didn't miss that one. Woo! Huh. I'm mightily impressed with myself. Okay, so he, after all that, there's no action. So we finished all the enemy activity checks. I'm going to put these markers over here. They did the job that I needed them to do. Which then brings up the sequence of play. We have done everything on there. So we now move down to the friendly command phase. Okay, so in this one, for a unit or HQ to receive a command, I am now, it must be in a chain of command. So my company commander has got a radio which goes back to battalion. We then have the battalion HQ impulse where he activates my company commander, who's here with, so he just gets flipped. All right, and that's literally all the battalion commander does. We then go to the command HQ impulse. So if activated by the battalion HQ, he was, draw an action card and give it the modified number of active commands. Okay, so we are heavily engaged at the present moment. So what does that actually mean? My company commander is, where are you? There he is, company HQ, he's veteran. So he's going to get +1 for being veteran. He's not undercover and we're not at no contact. I can't think of any other modifiers, but it doesn't mean there isn't. Let's just double check. Pinned, no. Green, no. Veteran, yes, +1. Not under a volume of fire, and the current activity is no contact. So net +1 on whatever this number is here. Okay, so 4 +1 is 5. So he gets 5 commands. I now get my dandy handy D4. That, did you hear that? Plonk, it's in front of me. Okay, so I can only use 4 of these. Let's try and only use 4. And what actual units do we want to actually activate? Now that's a good question. Right, so the Chinese have fallen, but actually I should update this volume to fire, isn't that? Good point. Okay, so from this unit, he's still putting, I need to put a PDF marker. Okay, place PDF at the bottom, and then we can flip that because it's going to be two-sided. Flip, dual. Okay, so they're still putting pinned fire on me here. Myself back, this machine gun's not pinned, so that will now become -1 on that card. Yes, so he's starting to fire out of there. Anything else there? No. Okay. There was no fire from here. Now the machine guns here, because I've got these final protective lane cards on them, they don't automatically open fire. We've got them holding back. We don't need you yet, boys. We'll need you at some point, but we don't need you yet. Okay, moving on to this card. He's fallen back, so we now need to put PDF there. Place PDF marker, and again it's at the bottom. And we flip that over. Okay, so he's still providing. I just realised that he's got close. He actually only has P, which is point blank. So actually, there's no volume of fire on me there. So in actual fact, we can flip that back. And how do we turn it? Flip 180 degrees. There we go. Because we are putting all pinned fire on the squad. If I want to get that into there, I'll have to bring that fire. So it's all pinned at the present moment because the squad is pinned. Any other thing that, no, because these guys are firing on this guy who is still there. He didn't fall back or anything like that. So that is still the case. He's still putting -1 on me. I'm still putting -1 on him. And that's all still good. And moving along to this card. Right, so the littered team remained. So we are still firing on here. We have got all pinned fire on him. And he's got actually no fire on us. Now this is an interesting question. Would they fire if they've got their own guy on there? I can't see any reason why not. Let me know in the comments if you can. So let's place a PDF at the bottom from them, and they'll be putting all pin fire. We are still going to be firing on this pin guy here, which is also all pin fire. Right, so that's that updated. And what was I doing now? Oh, yeah, my company commander. I was working out what I was actually going to do. So we can't move forward. We know the enemy are going to be coming. Well, we don't actually. They're not going to be coming. They're going to be bringing some artillery. So is there any way we can temporarily fall back? Try and do what the Germans did during World War II on the Eastern Front when they knew the Soviets were going to open fire. They fell back to another trench, then moved forward before the enemy engaged. Is that a viable tactic? Or is that playing the system? I don't know. I think that'd be fine. As long as we get enough orders. So, platoon, okay, I'm going to give that a try. So, platoon 1, where are they? There you are, first platoon. So, I'm activating them. So, that takes my 4 to a 3. Okay. Second platoon is also in the front line. Now, they're pinned. So, they're going to have to rally themselves first, but I might as well try and activate them. So, second platoon, where are you? There you go. Let's flip. Well, is there a point of actually flipping those? You know what? They've already got 6 orders. So I'll tell you what, we won't flip him. We'll flip the third platoon who hasn't got many orders. In fact, he's got 0 orders. So it still takes me down to 3. Then the XO, flip him. That takes me down to 2. First sergeant's got 6. Company sergeant, everyone else is fine. So I've got 2 orders left. No, I've used 2. I've got 3 orders left. I'm going to bank those. Yeah, I'm going to bank those. Okay, so we're in. Basically, I've got a phone line pretty much in every. In fact, I have got in every card. The only one who hasn't. No, the company sergeant hasn't got a phone. So, okay, I think that might be all right. So next up, then, in the sequence of play, we've just done the company HQ impulses. We're now into the platoon HQ and staff impulse. We do the guys who we have activated. And I can do them in. Well, I've only activated 2, so I can do them in either order. When it comes to initiative, I have to do the platoon leaders before I do the staff. And I think I am going to start on Mr. XO, who is where? Is that him there? It is. That's the company XO. Okay. I'm going to call him Bob. Why not? There we go. He's got a little Bob down there. Yeah, he's Bob. All right. So we're going to activate him, and we draw a card for him. He is Bob. He gets 1. He is a veteran, so that makes it 2. He's undercover is 3. So, okay, he's got 3. He had 1 save, so he's on 4, which is all I can spend, as we know. He says, turning over the D4. So what do we want to do with the 4 with the XO here? I'm going to go for force preservation here. He's going to order these 2 out of the trench. I have no idea how effective this is going to be. As I say, this is my first defensive mission. So he's going to order these back into the staging area. And I don't think they get marked exposed. So that takes 2. He's got 2 remaining. I'm going to have to leave the machine guns there. And then he falls back himself for 3. So movement into the staging area, does that make you exposed? I mean, I know he can't attack me there, so I suppose it's not relevant. But let me check anyway, because we're learning this. I'm still going to be probably learning this in about 5 years' time. Either become exposed. If I move from one staging area card to another, then I wouldn't be exposed. But I suppose I've got to cross over some actual open ground there. So let's mark those as exposed. And I say, there we go, learned something. Mark as exposed. So I use 3 commands there in total, which means he's got 1, which he will bank. Okay, so now the only other activated command I've got is 3rd platoon. Let's see how many orders he gets. Oh, this game don't bite you on the bum. Honestly, it does. You go, oh, great, I've got a plan. And then he's sitting there, probably having a fag, pissing against a tree stump, and doesn't get much going on. So, 3rd platoon is actually green. Okay, he's in the staging area. So he's got no pluses other than his green, which gives him a minus. So he gets nothing. Yeah, green is -1. No cover. He's got nothing plussing, no pluses. So 1 - 1 is a big fat hairy 0. Well done. Well done. Oh, I love this game. Right. Okay, so that's my actual guys that were using initiative. Or not initiative if you're looking at 3rd platoon commander. Oh, actually, you know what? I've got to give him a nickname as well. Let's call him Pike. Now, if any of you know Dad's Army from Great Britain, you might know what don't panic, Pike. Yeah. All right, you might not get that reference if you're from America, or if you have watched Dad's Army, it's well worth a watch. It's a very old 1970s comedy about the a unit from a town, I think it's called Warmington-on-Sea, which doesn't really exist, and they are home guard, preparing to fight the Nazi hordes. Yeah, dated, absolutely. Tongue-in-cheek, totally. Good laugh still a good laugh. Anywho, after that little aside, what are we doing now? We've got to go through, let's bring the sequence of play up. We've just done the staff impulse, CO HQ initiative. That's if he doesn't have contact with the battalion, which he does. So we're now doing platoon HQ initiative impulse. So this will be all the boys that we haven't activated so far. So we've got first platoon, machine gun platoon, the mortar section is classed as a platoon, and where's second platoon? Where are you loitering with intent? Right, you're down there, over there. Right, okay, so we will start with first platoon. Let's see what they're going to do. Right, so, and then we're looking at the little number. So they get 3. They don't need 3, but they get 3. Okay, now first platoon commander, who's over here, he's veterans, that's +1. He's undercover, that's +2. And that's it. He's not under a volume of fire, so he's on +2. Okay, draw 3 + 2 is 5. He's already at 6. I don't know if the maximum is that 10 is meant to be the maximum, but he's got 10. And again, he can spend 4 with my trusty little D4. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to do what I've just done with those units there, with the XO. So let's see. Do we want to keep anybody here? I don't think so. Even if the machine gun team comes up, they will be at maximum LOS. So let's do this. Okay, so these move back. That's 1 order from 4 to 3. Actually, you know what? Because we've got that squad there. Now, let me think about this. Let me think. If I see, I can't give a direct command to them because we're in a different location. Can't shout at them. You know, they're too far to shout at. So I could move into there and move them back, because they've got 4 steps in there. They will be actually taking a -1 for the having an additional step. So if I move into there, that would be 1. Order them back would be 2. I don't want to be on the board myself. 3. We can move one of these back. Also, a little aside, I've just noticed something. Again, if you guys noticed it, well done. Placing a PDF, place a PDF on the top. They will actually be firing. Let's rotate that clockwise. There we go. They would be firing on him. Can't move diagonally, but we definitely can blinking well shoot diagonally. And that would be automatic fire from that machine gun. That would then put a crossfire on here. So again, if you guys was going, oh, you forgot that, I got there in the end. Here we go, crossfire. Okay, so that doesn't cost anything to fire. So actually, I'll probably leave them there. So his first order is to the artillery firing officer. You go back. That's 1. That leaves me 3 orders. His second order would be to himself to move here. Moving within a card, will that mark him as exposed? This is a little move within a card. So automatic, any good order unit, place the unit in the desired area of the card, under a cover marker, out of a cover marker, a separate area, and mark it as exposed. And then if you're marked as exposed, he can't move back. Interesting. But that might be the risk I've got to take. Because once you move within a card, you can still move within a card. It's got a little number 2 there. Cannot be used by units loaded on the vehicles. No, that's not anything to do with it. I think if you move within the card, it says any good order unit. Let me double check that. Okay, so I could move back and forth between these covers and such forth and be exposed the first time and keep doing it. But I can't move there to this second foxhole and then, because then I'm going to be marked exposed in a moment. So in actual fact, I want to do it. Well, we'll save the artillery officer. We've already got automatic weapon fire here, but we might fall back here as well. Yeah, that's a bit tricky because moving within the card is going to mark me exposed, which is, and then I can't move off the card. Okay, machine gun, fall back. That's his second order. He's got 2 left. Sorry, 1/1 squad. We're leaving you there. Bye. So he bugs out. That leaves him with 1 order. He spent 3. They are all technically marked as exposed. Mark as exposed. Why did only 1 go there? Okay. Got to get back into how to use Vassal, but there we go. They're all marked as exposed. He's used 3 commands, so he has 1 left. Where is he? So 1, 2, 3, but he can only save 6. Max save line, normal vis, and veteran line limited visibility. Normal vis, our max save line for normal visibility and veteran limited visibility. Right, okay, so we'll now do second platoon as the next platoon to do, and he will get 3. Where is second platoon HQ? There it is. Now, he is pinned, so let's have a look at his command rule modifier. Pinned is -1. Veteran is +1, so they cancel out. Under a cover marker, +1. Under a automatic weapons volume of fire, -2. So we're at +1 at the present moment. Now we're at -1, and it's not current activity. So let's just double check that again. Pin -1. Volume of fire, automatic, there's net -3 there. Veteran, net -2. Cover, net -1. Okay, so he drew 3, and he got net, so he gets 2 on here. There we go. I should actually flip him to show that is the current one that's activated. Commands available is 8. Right, but we know with my little trusty D4 that we can only spend 4. Okay, so he's pinned himself. Now, can he give orders whilst he is pinned? This, I must admit, is something I can't quite get my head around. So I am going to check the rules again on that. I've probably done this in quite a few videos. I still can't get it right. Okay, so he can give an order to himself to become unpinned, but he can't talk to these guys directly via verbal communication because he's not in good order. So I've got to get him out of being pinned first. Otherwise, he cannot say anything to them. Now, to get out of rally action, attempt to remove a pinned marker is plus is 2, plus or minus. Use veterans, you get it +1, so it's 3. Any unit under a pin, if the recipient's card has a volume of fire mark on it, draw action cards and check for the word rally. If it wasn't a volume of fire marker on there, it'd be automatic. So he's drawing 3 cards and he's looking for the word rally. 1, 2, he's got it, 3. Okay, so he removes the pinned, mark as not exposed, unpinned. So he's got 3 commands left. So we've got the same problem that first platoon commander had, that if he moves forwards into here, he's causing a problem. and he can't shout directly to them to get out of there. However, the enemy are sitting here as well, so as he comes down on here, they are sitting in the open. So his first command then, do we want to change this? Yeah, that for, I'll say first command. His second command is to pull them back. His third command is to get the mortar team to come back. So he's done, and then, so he's done 1, 2, 3. His fourth command is to pull himself back. Now, if I mark these as controlled, that's all 3, and then mark as exposed. There they go, all of them done. Right, so he's used all 4 of the commands he had available. He was sitting on 8, so he ends on 4, which is fine. Okay. And that changes the volume of fire on this card from automatic to the I'm now only firing small arms on him, replaced with small arms. There we go. Right. So that's second platoon done. We've now got the mortar section and the machine gun platoon. So let's see what happens with the machine gun platoon. He gets 4. Oh, wait a minute. Did I look at the big? I did look at the big number for this guy, didn't I? Because he got 3. So he had 1 less than that. So I'm going to put that down at 2. So again, if you were screaming at the screen, I do apologise. Picked it up in the end. So machine gun platoon gets 4, not 5. He is a veteran, +1. He's undercover, +2. That's about it, isn't it? +2. Veteran, undercover, but not under no contact. So +2, that takes him to 7, of which he can spend 4. Well, at the present moment, I really don't want him to do anything. We're quite happy. We don't want these guys to open up, because I think once they open up without using this FPL, I think that's got... I keep saying I think. Why don't I just go and bloody check? Right, so yes, if I start to fire with these guys against just random targets or something like that, then those FPLs are gone. Also just picked up on something that only the company commander can order that, and he's got to do it directly or via a pyrotechnic. Well, I'm going to now I've read all of that. As I say, this is my first defensive mission. I'm going to put a pyrotechnic into place that would do that, because that would make sense. I thought this guy would be able to order it, but it did say quite specifically the company commander. So let me just pause for a second again. So given the pyrotechnic of Red Star Cluster as the final, activating the final protective lanes to open fire. They consume 2 ammunition per turn, and they keep firing until they receive a ceasefire command, or they literally run out of fire. So that's it for those. So they're going back on the machine gun. What have we done now? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Where is my command display? So if I just wipe that out, command, there it is. What are you doing under there? Okay, so the machine gun platoon, he is veteran as well, so he can save a maximum of 6. I'm just banking the points at the present moment, because we don't want them opening up until the human waves start coming. So he's done. Right, the mortar section, so we draw a card for them. They get 2. The mortar section commander is the purple dude here, is also a veteran, so that's +1. He's undercover, that's +2. So flip him, so he gets 4. Got 2 + 2 is 4. And he's on 3, so it takes him to 7. Now I think we might get him to actually open fire, because we have an exposed enemy sitting there, and my squad's only giving them pinned fire. So, however, there are 5 steps in there. There's a lot. Oh, and he's pinned. So he's got 4 orders. First of all, he's got to rally himself before he can order the mortar section to fire. So he's going to do that. He's veteran, so he draws 3 cards. he gets it on the first one, but as you know, we've got to draw all 3. There he goes. So he's now unpinned. So that takes him down at 3 orders. Now this mortar section has got C and L. So it can fire close to long. So we're going to order it to pop a shell in this card here, which will then consume 1 ammo. So ammo goes from 6 to 5, and that changes that volume of fire from all pinned to heavy. Where's the heavy? Small arms, also heavy weapons. There it is, because that has got a H on it. And that's direct fire. We didn't have to have radio community. He just basically says, oi, see them? I know it's night time, but we know that they've gone there. So yeah, -3 on there. There's going to get +2 for the moon. Could have done an illumination round, but actually I don't think that's got an illumination round. It doesn't say anywhere. It's the off-board stuff that's got illumination rounds, so no, we haven't got any of that, as far as I know. Okay, so that was the machine gun team. Dun, 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 dun. They've used 2 commands, 2, and he's veteran, so he can save those. And that's flipped there. So that is the platoon HQ's done. We now go to company staff initiative, and in that these guys only get 1 each. So we're going to do the first sergeant first. He gets 1. Let's flip that so that he is the person we're looking at. Where is Mr. First Sergeant? He's over here, and he's pinned, so he's got a maximum of 4 he can spend, and he will spend his first one to rally himself, hopefully. 1, 2, he's drawing 3 cards. No, he didn't. Okay, so he can't order the other guys because you can't give an order to both units that receive the order in verbal visual communication have to be unpinned. That wasn't right. And he can't give himself another order to try and do that. So he will decide that, honor, let's go back. Let's fall back himself. All right, he's allowed to do that. So that marks him as exposed, and that will take him down to 2. We're going to call him Sergeant Flashman. And again, if you don't know who Flashman is, he was the coward that was in, was it Tom Brown's School Days, and had a whole series of books about him. He was a coward, and I thought that's a pretty cowardly activity from the sergeant not to rally and then decide, you know what, I'm getting out of here. And he did. So that's him done. He's done 2 orders, 1 to try and rally and 1 to move. So he drops down from 7 down to 5, and he will save. Because again, he is veteran, so you can save up to 6 under limited visibility. So next we have, who else do we have? We have the company sergeant, and he, blocking the sight of everything. Oh, where is the company sergeant? He's over here. He's also pinned. That's right, my commanders got pretty unlucky, didn't they? So, company sergeant, he says, right, let's see. Is he, well, let's see how many commands he gets. He gets 3 as well. Okay. With 3, he's veteran, +1. He's pinned, -1. Undercover, +1. Under all pinned fire is no modifier. So that +1. So he drew 3, which becomes, now what am I doing? I did it with the sergeant. I forgot to do it now with the cup. He gets only 1. He only gets 1 when you're doing it under initiative. So again, if you were saying, oh, you're doing it wrong, got there in the end. So he's got 4 orders he can do. He will try and rally himself first. Let's see if he does it. 1, 2. Ooh, don't like that, sir. So he can't give orders to anybody else. Is he going to be a... I don't want to lose these guys. So can't give any orders to anyone else. He falls back to there, gets marked as exposed, and that will do. So he's got to use one command, and therefore let's flip that over. He can save 6. Right. So that then brings us down to general initiative, and we draw a card for that. We get 2. Okay. We get 2 for general initiative. So we could move these guys back. We've got fire coming in here. We can only move 2 units back. Okay, I'm going to try and... Well, we haven't got any stacks here that have got more than 3 in them. But we do here. That's got more than 3. That one's definitely got more than 3. Well, now we've got the heavy weapons fire. I want to preserve that. They move back to there. So that's one. That's got an enemy on it, so I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with doing the cover fire there, so we don't really need to move that back. So that's providing its fire there. So I'm going to try and rally. Oh, he's green. Ooh. No. That means he's only drawing 1 card. He is providing only an all-pin fire there, isn't he? So I tell you what, which is the same as from the infantry. So let's pull back that guy. Maybe we can rally him. And he should be marked as exposed. And did we move? Did I mark the other guy exposed? So I move back here. No, I didn't. There he is. Mark as exposed. There we go. I don't think it'll make any difference, but let's just do it anyway. All right, so that is the conclusion of that part of the turn. We have no offensive, so we're into this area here now, which is the mutual capture phase. Right. So it says capture any paralysed or litter team alone on a card with an unpinned infantry units with a volume of fire rating from the opposing side. Okay, so is there an enemy unit? There he is, a litter team. The mutual capture phase. Capture any paralysed or litter team alone on a card with an unpinned infantry unit with a volume of fire rating from the opposing side. Now that's interesting, because he's pinned and he does have a volume of fire rating. He's got S and G. So yes, so he surrenders. That means he has to escort him off. Not too keen on that, but he can't. He can. Capture any paralysed or litter team alone on a card. Right. That's a little pain, isn't it? So let's put, where am I going? Come back. And he goes and escorts them off, which takes them down to this area here. Prisoners captured. There's half the problem I've got with this. Right, prisoners captured. So he goes in there and he goes with him. Yeah, they're probably sitting there thinking, well, this is a bit of a lark, isn't it? So let's get rid of that unpinned. Okay. Bit of a giggle. What's going on? Well, we've... Right. See, I'm trying to keep as much as visible as possible. Hold on there. Okay. So that's the only one there. And then enemy casualties on unoccupied and friendly occupied cards that are captured as per enemy do not capture casualties. So we capture those 2 casualties because we've got some unpinned men there. We don't have to escort them back. So I'm going to bring these back to here at the present moment, and then off screen I'm going to put them in the proper place instead of keep faffing around along there. Okay, next, retreat segment. Bring up the sequence of play. So we've done that part. Retreat segment. Check for... No, we don't have to worry about that. Retreat any unpinned, paralysed team under a volume of fire marker 1 card. I don't think I've got any unpinned, paralysed teams. Doesn't look like it, no. Retreat any... Yes, okay. Retreat any unpinned litter teams. No, they're all either pinned or unhappy. There's no AT combat and vehicle combat phase because we haven't got any vehicles. Fire mission update segments. There's no fire missions coming in as yet. Now we do the potential contact evaluation segment. So this is where we look at all these A's that are coming in. Right. So what are these actually going to do? So first of then, if I bring up the enemy activity chart, not that one, the, what's this one called? Enemy contact chart. There we go. We're into A. And we are into heavily engaged because we've still got more than 2 cards with volume of fire on them, and we have enemy on the same card as me. So we're still heavily engaged, and we're looking at A. So we're looking at drawing 3 cards for each one of these A's. Okay. Now there are 6 of them, so we've got to go 1 to 6. So let's see which one we do first. Looking under number 6 is number 4. And as you know, left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're trying to resolve this one first. And we've got to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Nothing happened with that one. That's good. So now we've got 5 cards. 1 to 5. And we're looking at card number 2. 1, 2. That's this one. And we're drawing 3 cards now. 1, 2, 3. That's nothing as well. That's excellent. Okay. So now we've got 4 cards. 1 to 4. We're looking at card number 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's this one. Now we're drawing 3 cards. 1, 2. That's contact. Boom. Or it could be machine gun fire. So let's have a look what it actually is. And I'm just bringing it back up the chart. Right, mission 2. Okay. So we know it's turn 2. So 1 to... We're looking at under the 1 to 10. We're looking at the 10 number. 1 to start again, speaking to English. If it's numbered 1 to 6, package 10. And if it's numbered 7 to 10, it's package 3. So looking at 10, it's 6. It's package 10, which is, let's double check, but that is the incoming one, isn't it? Bum, 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 bum. Package 10, incoming mortar fire. Right, so that was on this card here. So we now have a volume of fire of incoming mortar fire of -3. -3 HE emission, and that instantly goes boom. Right, interesting. That's where their big dude is as well. Okay, so that comes, and that we've done 3 of these now so far. So we've got 1 to 3 left to do. Looking at 3, which is number 1, which is this one. Just as a side note against that mortar fire, so it's incoming -3, lands on the contact card, single fire mission, no spotters. So this is like a one and done sort of thing. Right, so we're drawing 3 cards again for this contact because we're still heavily engaged. That won't change. 1, 2, oh, we get the reshuffle. 2, 3, none, and I reshuffle those. That's gone as well. So that's 4 of them done. Okay, so just got 2 left, 1 and 2. We're looking at number 1, which is, didn't say that off last time. I mean, that was, there he goes, down there. And 1 and 2. We've got to draw 3 cards for him. 1, 2, yeah, there is contact. 3, now we look at the 1 to 10, that's 5, that is incoming as well. Just put that there, place volume of fire marker, all not pinned, sensitivity reduced from -3 fire mission, and we flip that over because it gone boom, and that comes off there. So there's just the one more left to do, which is this one. Drawing a card. We don't have to draw a card, we'll just draw 3 cards now, see if it's something. It is something. 1, 2, 3. Drawing again to see what it is. 10, number 1, more incoming. So no machine guns were set up. Interesting. Place volume of fire marker. -3. And flip it over. Replace volume of fire marker. Replace it as well. Flip it. Boom. And that's gone. Okay. I'll sort all these out after I've recorded the video. So that's, and as I've got no troops on these ones, I don't have to resolve those. So we now go down to pinned recovery segment. Remove pin markers from any vehicle infantry unit that are not under a volume of fire marker. So he's no longer pinned, marked as, sorry, it's just unpinned there, isn't it? Anyone else? No. Anyone here? No. Anyone here? Is there a volume of fire marker? Yes, there is, still from here, so he doesn't recover. Definitely not here. Over here, there is no pinned. Over here, oh, he's not pinned, but he was. So mark him as unpinned. Over here, no. Over here, you're definitely unpinned and unpinned. Volume of fire, volume of fire. And that's got a volume of fire. So we're okay there. All right, next step is combat effects segments. Do not adjust volume of fires in PDF until 3.8, until we get to here. So for each infantry unit on a card with a volume of fire marker, determine the NCM, which is the combat to net combat modifier. And I do these left to right. So, and enemy first, then me if we're on the same card. So on this card, well, left to right, top, oh, we're going to go this row, nothing. This row, enemy here. Right, so let's just double check, make sure I haven't missed something. LMG's firing, gives a -1 modifier. Okay, it is night, got to remember night. Okay, but that volume of fire is still in effect. That will consume ammo, marks consume ammo while we're here. So, not gaining ammo, that would be useful, wouldn't it? So using ammo. So net modifier is, okay, +2 for the terrain, +2 for the moon, so it's +4. -1 for the volume of fire, -1 for the crossfire, -2 for the exposed. So it's net 0 on that fire team. Net 0. Okay, he becomes pinned. He was pinned. Actually, that would be +1 for pinned. So it's actually a miss. So he's now unpinned because he was missed. Right, the effect on me here, it was all pinned fire. Net +1, +2, pinned +3, +4, +5, +6, +7 for the moon. +6 is a high. I don't think if it's higher than that, it's automatic miss. I think you've got to look at the +6. So +6 on that squad is a miss. So he is now unpinned. On these weapon teams, it's +1, +2, +3 for all pinned fire, +1, +2, +3, +4, +2 for the night, +6. So the machine gun at +6 is a miss, and the bazooka +6 is also a miss. So that's all okay. Moving along, there's no fire on here. On here, though, oh yes. Oh yes. Right. And the moon is not going to have any effect on this. It's landing, no matter what. Okay, so we've got +0, +1 for the foxhole, -3, so net -2. So this could be nasty. Net -2. So we'll go machine gun, leader. First machine gun at -2. He's pinned. Mark as, so the hit result is pin. The other machine gun, -2. Uh-oh, he's hit. And they're line units because they're an attachment. Line, what's that? Is that an F? Yeah, he turns into his fire team side. Hit results A or F. So just flip him over. It does, and makes him pinned as well. Then the leader at -2. He's hit, and he's veteran as far as I remember. He is. He becomes paralyzed. Marked as paralyzed. So hit result is paralyzed. There we go. That was not helpful. Moving along, because there's nothing here, onto this row. This is where our mortar dropped. That will be affected by the moon, because it's not a whole artillery barrage coming in. So it's +1 terrain. Yeah, there's no split multiplier, so it's +1 terrain. +2 moon is +3. Then we've got -3. Oh no, and he's pinned, +4. Then we've got -3 for the volume of fire and -2 for his exposed. Net -1 on him. He's already pinned, he remains pinned. Guy got out of dodge. I've already expended the ammunition, so we're okay there. No volume of fire back. Moving along. This card here, nothing. This card here. Right, we've both been affected, so these by the -3. So the enemy, squad, let's do the enemy first, is +2, -3, net -1. Again, artillery is not going to be affected by the moon. Net -1, he is hit. And they're a green unit. That's 1 casualty. So hit result is a C casualty. There, we'll put the casualties to the side. Leave that there. Okay. Effect on me, +2, +3, -3, and then I've got 1 extra -1 there because I've got 4 steps in there. So +2, +2, +3, -3, -1 is -4. Net -1 is a hit. And these are veteran. We have one guy on paralyzed. That's the guy that was got his bum sticking out of the foxhole. I can't squeeze in, boys. Let me in. And he's like, no, we're not letting you in. So we got 1 paralyzed, and there we go. Yeah, and pinned. Moving along into this card. No, into this card. Oh. Now, what's happened there? Why have I not got any fire? Oh, because it's pinned. No, he still should be able to do pinned. All pinned fire there. Can't see any reason why it shouldn't be. So that should be flip. There we go. And it's all pinned fire back. So we're resolving this one first. It's correct, isn't it? No, it's not. No, it's not. Because we have incoming, that stops us firing out. So let's flip that 100, flip like that, and then flip it 180 degrees. They're firing in, but that is taking precedence over that. So they're not stopping anything because we can't fire out of the card. So 0, +1 for the foxhole, +1 for pins, that's +2, net -3, 3, net minus, not net minus 3, and -3 +2 is net -1. There we go, net -1. Okay, he's pinned, he's already pinned, we're okay. And that's it. Okay, so far I'm thinking pulling back when we know there's going to be potential of an artillery barrage seems to have been sensible. I can then move forward again before the human wave hits. That's my thinking. let me know in the comments if you think that's a good idea. The sequence of play now moves on to remove pyrotechnics, so we've got to do a cleanup. So let's do the cleanup and then we'll check for ammunitions and other things. Cleanup will remove all the exposed and so on. Yeah, they're all gone. Right, so we've now got to check on here. Grenades, grenade mission markers, evacuate casualty from casualty collection points, none of those. Enemies firing at cards without valid targets, fire and ceasefire, and then we do remove any unresolved PC markers. So we're removing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those boys. Again, because I'm not advancing here, they don't really have an effect. But I will still do the first 2 rows in case I get a command that says you must move forward. I haven't really examined in detail the HQ events. So adjust volume of fires, PDFs and activity levels as a result. So we're still at heavy contact, heavily engaged. Right, so that there is now unpinned. So it's applying small arms, and that's unpinned. We did the ammunition on him, so that is still automatic weapons fire on him with a crossfire. This guy back is no longer pinned, so his fire back is now small arms, replaced with a small arms on there. Okay, moving on to this. We're all pinned. We're not putting any fire on anybody here, and the HQ has gone down the toilet. So yeah. Over here, that's still in effect. PDF still exists. They are short-range weapons, so they're not putting any volume of fire back. So that looks all okay. We did drop the ammo. Over here, pinned, pinned, so it's all pinned fire on here. Replace. I know it's the artillery, but that's going to be gone in a moment. So it's all pinned fire from both boys. All pinned fire on there. In here, he's still firing. He's not pinned, so that's actually gone. Delete that because I'm not firing back. He's still firing, all pinned, and I'm still suffering the artillery. So that's all that. So that is the turn done. Now, that took a bit longer than anticipated, but I have got into quite details. That will go there. These boys move up into here. The who's taken out, the machine gun platoon, he is no longer available. And they're there. Okay. Hopefully, I didn't make too many mistakes and I caught some of them. But let's stop there. Let's go back to the top and have a final discussion. There it is, that D4. It definitely helped. I don't think I had any do extra orders or activations. I did miss 1 or 2 using the initiative number or the activation number, the big one rather than the little one, but I think I caught them all. Let me know in the comments if I didn't. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm really liking this. And did I do the right thing by pulling back? So next sequence, the enemy activated first, whatever the HQ events. I said I haven't really examined that. Will they have any more infiltrators by the HQ event? I don't know. I wanted to be a bit surprised by that. And what's my HQ going to say? What the hell do you think you're doing? Put him back. Get in the front line. I don't know. We'll see. But then we'll place PC markers so that every card's still got my guys on it. So, and I think turn 3 is B. Mission 2. No, it's A again. But turn 3 is the start of the human waves. They've got 11 or 12, which is human waves. So, yeah, we can see them coming, screaming. I'd have said if they were Russian, they'd have had a good shot of vodka. If they were Japanese, it'd be sake. Not sure what the national drink of China is. You know, let me know in the comments. It's all about expanding our knowledge. But so anyway, bit disappointed that I've lost that machine gun leader, but we knew to actually activate those FPL, we're going to have to send up a flare. That's something I've learned, and I've changed that slightly in there. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if you did or not. The like doesn't seem to work for members, but if you could like the video anyway, you know, get in the habit. I was going to say subscribe, but you've already subscribed. You're already members. So all I can say is play games, have fun. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it's intriguing enough for you to stay a member. So, but until next time, bye.